Solve the system of equations by converting to a matrix equation and using the inverse of the coefficient matrix. This system of equation can be rewritten as a matrix equation using the coefficient matrix, the coefficient in front of the variables only, -3, -5, 2, 3. This is known as the coefficient matrix A, times the variable matrix, in this case x, y, equals the constant matrix for 0. The variable matrix is called capital X and the constant matrix is called B. With the matrix equation AX equals B, to get the matrix X, which is the variable matrix, by itself, we can multiply the inverse to the left-hand side of the matrix A. Since matrix multiplication is not commutative, we will need to multiply matrix A inverse on the left-hand side of B. The goal is to cancel out the matrix A so that we can get X by itself. The product A inverse A is the identity matrix. I times X equals A inverse times B. But any matrix multiplied an identity matrix is itself. So we end up with X equals A inverse B. The solution X, Y will be a matrix A inverse B. This will be a 2 by 1 matrix. And to obtain this 2 by 1 matrix, we would take the inverse of A, multiply the constant matrix B. And so to do that, we will need to find the inverse matrix A. This is a 2 by 2 matrix, so we can find the inverse relatively easy. The inverse of this matrix, or the coefficient matrix, is 1 over AD minus BC, which is -3 times 3 minus -5 times 2. -3 times 3 is -9, minus -5 times 2 is -10. Multiply, we switch the position of A and D, so 3 go to -3 and -3 go to the 3 position. We then negate C and D and keep them in the same position. -5 is now negative of -5, so this is 5, -2. And this is the inverse matrix of the coefficient matrix. Simplifying this, we have -9 plus 10 is +1. So A inverse is simply 3, 5, -2, -3. Because the scalar in front is 1. And this is A inverse. The matrix X, which is the variable matrix, is therefore A inverse times B. But A inverse is 3, 5, -2, -3. And B is the constant matrix for 0. Using the inner product, we take the first row times the only column in the second matrix. This is 3 times 4 plus 5 times 0, which is 12 plus 0. Next, we take the second row and multiply the only column. -2 times 4 is -8, -3 times 0 is 0. And so the answer is 12, -8. And since this is the variable matrix, we obtain X equals 12 and Y equals -8. This is the solution to the given system of equations, and we solved it using matrix equation along with the inverse of the coefficient matrix.